It's a document of Sweden are so concerned about two journalists.
Even been some shooting accidents because they're...
Guests from all the way from Hong Kong and from Stockholm as well. I would like to welcome you all to this seminar on human rights in China. And I'm looking forward to a very good afternoon with interesting speeches on human rights issues in China. And I wish you all welcome. We planned this way that first David, as we call him, but Zhang Cui will open the seminar, and after that Yuo Zhang from the Independent Pen Club will proceed, and after that Lam Po Yung, long hair, will be giving a speech on human rights issues in China. After that, Sten de Geer will take over and talk about the asylum process for Chinese refugees in Sweden and give some references to Swedish cases here. And Elisabeth Löfgren from Amnesty International will give her view on human rights issues in China. And I will do some short concluding at the end. But I would really like to welcome you all very warmly and leave the floor to David, if you would.
Chinese youth and office worker, I could never imagine I could be here today in the Swedish Parliament.
För ett år sedan var jag en vanlig ung man, en kontorist. Jag kunde aldrig föreställa mig då att jag skulle vara här i den svenska riksdagen.
I want to thank the Left Party for giving this opportunity.
Jag vill tacka Vänsterpartiet för att det gett mig den här möjligheten.
I'm a socialist. I'm in political solidarity with the Committee for Workers International, the CWI, which organizes in around 50 countries. I have for more than 2 years submitted articles for the website chinaworker.info and magazine Socialist, both of which are banned in Thailand.
Jag är socialist och jag är anhängare till Committee for Workers International som finns i cirka 50 länder. Och jag har i drygt 2 år skrivit artiklar om kampen för demokratiska och fackliga rättigheter till hemsidan chinaworker.info och tidskriften Socialist som båda är förbjudna i Kina.
In early 2011, the Chinese dictatorship was terrified by the global protests coming from Egypt and Tunisia. And almost exactly 11 months ago, I was arrested and accused of having links with the banned organization, the CWI. And I was taken secretly by police from State Security Bureau to a hotel. And the police performed for body cavity search and took out my belt, keys, and mobile and other things in my pocket.
I början av 2011 var den kinesiska diktaturen livrädd för vågorna av de globala protesterna från Egypten och Tunisien. Och för nästan exakt 11 månader sedan arresterades jag och anklagades för att ha kopplingar till en förbjuden organisation, CDI. Poliser från Statens säkerhetsbyrå förde mig till ett hotell. De gjorde en fullständig kroppsvisitation och tog mitt bälte, min mobil, mina nycklar och andra saker som jag hade på mig.
So, I think I don't need to speak too much to make you guys understand. There are urgency for the international community in support of the cause of democracy and workers' rights and freedom of assembly, freedom of expression in China. I am also a good example. I am a legislator of Hong Kong, which is equivalent to the member of parliament in Hong Kong, I was not allowed to travel to China for over 2 decades. In 2008, I was invited by the Sichuan government, which is the homeland of Mr. Zhang, after the earthquake. I got phone call from Sichuan. I got letters from Sichuan to complain about the corruption in Sichuan, who caused tens of thousands of lives in the earthquake. I was stopped from going to Sichuan just before I tried to do my check-in. It's a humiliation to the Hong Kong Legislative Council. And I think if I do the same thing as Mr. Zhang, if I am courageous like him, I will be in jail. So, cut it short. I know that there are more and more business relationships tied up among countries. Northern country, Western country, to Chinese government. But I urge you people not to sacrifice the human rights, not to sacrifice the basic value of human mankind in order to get more business. The tyrant will not surrender, but we need to keep it in bay from time to time until the spring came. The winter had already emerged, so the spring will not be long anyway. So thank you very much for your patience.
My name is Elisabeth Löfgren. I'm press officer of Amnesty International in Sweden, and like Sylvia, I had prepared my speech in Swedish, but I think I can go all right in English as well, I hope so. And many of the cases which Amnesty work for have been mentioned here today because they are of mutual concern to human rights organizations, of course. I will do a sort of expose of different cases we work on and present our main concerns on China. I will not go into depth about the Uyghur situation because Sten mentioned a lot of that. I mean, we are very much concerned about the situation there as well. The suppression of dissidents in China is massive, as we've heard, and the possibilities for journalists to really try and do in-depth and critical research is, of course, very, very limited, and even to report. There's a large amount of self-censorship, but there's also kind of a penalty system where a journalist could get, when you talk about weight watching, you have different points and you will get one, but in China you get points, negative points. So if you start off with a couple of points, you will be threatened in your workplace. If you get more, you can be suspended for a while, and if you get even more, you can lose your job or even at the end go to prison for the kind of work you're doing. And the restrictions on internet has been mentioned here, of course, and they are so well known. Both Yahoo and Google have sort of put themselves in the lap of the Chinese authorities. We know that Shi Tao was mentioned, the Chinese journalist. He was sentenced to a long prison term because Yahoo, the email he had written was presented by Yahoo to the Chinese authorities and was used as evidence in his trial. There has since then been a sort of, I think he received some kind of money from Yahoo, but I mean he's still in prison, so he has not much use for that money. And Yahoo has, of course, been very much criticized. Google was also criticized for quite a while, and their constant reply was that, well, it's better for us to be in China and not to be somewhere else, and we try to do some good. And they always mentioned that the importance of freedom of expression and that they were sort of facilitating that. A couple of years ago, it even got worse for Google, so they decided to drop out of China and to have their search engine in Hong Kong instead. But I heard the other day that they are now trying to get back into mainland China, so I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that money talks, as we know.
那个是视野没有大概是因为您是作为一个记者，也是作为一个报社的记者。